Hello everybody, my name is Matt Lees and I'm Head of Engineering at Cadline. Today I'm going to concentrate on how we take factory data to the next level. I'm going to start with an introduction to dynamic aim, show you how we view laser scans, view the factory model, show you how we find asset information. I'll go through asset on a page, and then we'll go through some 3D operation and maintenance, 3D spares catalogues, how we integrate QR codes and give handheld access, and then I'll finish on the Internet of Things. The system's cloud-based, so it's accessible via any browser. In this case I think I'm using Firefox. So it's single user sign-on. What we'll do is log in as Cadline Materials Factory PLC, and we are greeted with what we call client level. So from here we can see areas of interest on the map. It's worth saying now that Dynamic AIM is built on top of a very robust piece of GIS software that Cadline's had out in the market for about 10 to 12 years now, Dynamic Maps. So with that we are able to leverage all the beautiful GIS layers, so we can drill down to different sites, different areas on the map, or on the left hand side we can see a list of client locations. What I'll do here is I'll jump into Congleton site, and we are now at what we call site level. We've got a more detailed map here. So we're now at building level, and here you will start to see folders of information. Now the 3 folders at the bottom are how this client likes to store their data. We can now start to drill down to the data within. So let me go down to quickly pull up a PDF here. So this window on the left hand side, which we call our dynamic view, this window will view anything. Of course we can click on these and then we can hit them into full screen. From here we can download the PDF, we can mark it up. So having all this data in one place is ideal for clients who have traditionally got data all over the place. So let's have a look now at how we can view a laser scan within Dynamic AIM. Put it on full screen here, and you can see how quick that's just popped up. This laser scan actually weighs 16 gigabytes, which is quite hefty, but Dynamic AIM is speeding up the data consumption process. So within here we could jump to different scan locations, start to look around the laser scan. We can also click and measure from here as well. So for instance, let's have a look. Let's measure something really high up. If I wanted to know the height of, for instance, this beam from floor level, I could click measure distance. So click once to here, click on the floor, hit OK. What that'll do is it'll give me a diagonal distance, which I can then put my XYZ on, and I can get the actual vertical distance there. So it's just under 10.5 meters. This laser scan was done down to 1 to 2 millimeters of accuracy, and the reason we needed to do that was to be able to inform the Revit model, which then informed Chris's Inventor model that you saw in the previous part of this demonstration. So that's how we view a laser scan. Let's have a look at Chris's model. The dynamic aim is getting rid of the need for native CAD software. So you've just seen me navigate a laser scan. Now I can use our Forge viewer to start to navigate Chris's model. So if I just expose my tools at the bottom, let's put it into first person, let's click down into the factory floor, and then I can use the keys to walk around, navigate Chris's model. We can start to click on items to get information. So let's have a look at, for instance, a piece of pipe. Let's put the properties on. There we go. We see that that piece of pipe is steel carbon, pressure, information, etc. So that was the 3D model. So now we're going to have a look at how we can drill down to asset information. There's different ways of getting down to asset information. I'll show you the first way now. If we know our way around the factory, we can load it up in glorious 360 HD view. Actually, let's run this full screen. You can see it a bit better. So this type of survey will be done, I suppose, at maybe an as-built stage where we're happy with the design. And the idea is it's a lot like Google Street View, where we can walk around the factory, we can start to see things tagged up, areas of interest, items that are of interest for operation and maintenance. So let's walk over to this pump, for instance, hit the tag, and what that will then do is take us to what we call asset on a page. Now I'll come back to this in a minute. So that's how we find asset information if we know our way around the plant. If we don't, then we can use the list of asset information here. But if that list is thousands long, we might want to use the search engine at the top. So we've got a powerful search engine here which searches on tag number, it'll search on keyword. In this case I will use keyword hot water pump, hit search. You'll notice I've left the word pump off, and the system will now search the database for anything hot water. And there we are. I'll click on the asset, and that'll take us straight to what we call asset on a page. Now, in the bottom left here, you can see information coming from the SQL database with regards to product number, serial number, when it was surveyed, when it's due, etc. And then we've got our list of folders full of information. So I could quickly go to the operation and maintenance manual for this pump. I could load up the commissioning report. And then it's from here that we can start to look at some 3D operation and maintenance information. So I'm going to kick this up on full screen. There we go. And this is where we can start to leverage our very detailed inventor models. So if I pull down to the bottom, I'll put it onto job mode. And the idea is that the engineer on the job will click sign off as he or she goes through the process. So if we look on the left hand side, we can see instructions. These will be the detailed instructions on how to do this part of the task. We'll hit sign off, disconnect the pipe work, click sign off again, remove the 8 cap head screws, and then we've got some health and safety information in there. If it's heavier than 20 kilograms, you might need another pair of hands, so on and so forth. So this is great for maintenance engineers to run through a job before they actually get to site, and they could have this running on an iPad or a tablet whilst actually performing the tasks. So let's jump back here. Likewise, we can use the same detail models for plant room spares. So I'll click this onto full screen. There we go. So what I can do here is I can drill down to, say, the motor. It'll isolate it in the model. I can then show the motor disassembled. At any point in time I can rotate this model, I can zoom in and out, I can click on items. So item number 60, that's highlighted in the left window, and on the right it's telling me it's the cap head mounting screws. I can click add to cart, and then I can order as many as I want. Click order, and what this will do is it'll spit a file out to the client's CRM system where we can start to order the parts. So that's how we're leveraging our detailed models within Dynamic AIM. So what I want to show you now is how we are leveraging QR codes out on the factory floor, linking with asset data. So here we have an iPad out on site. This could be an Android device as well. We fire up the camera, move over to the QR code on the piece of equipment, and then the system takes us straight to asset on a page. And then from here we can start to consume the data. So it's great to have out on site all the data at your fingertips, right when you need the data the most. And to finish off, I'll now show you how we are starting to bring in sensor data for bits of equipment. So we've got some live IoT data here coming through a dashboard. This case it's a sensor. So we've got the map there, and we can come down to the information that the sensor is punching out. So the idea is for clients to have the freedom to choose any sensor out there on the market. So long as it's got a dashboard, we can link Dynamic AIM with the data. So here we've got an IoT dashboard for a number of pumps all over the world. If we drill down to the Sudan area, we've got a pump here that we can click on. We can see it's been 2 days since the pump last transmitted data, and then we can start to look at how many litres per hour the pump's doing. And we can also bring in smart meter information. So taking that next step of bringing live asset information, live sensor data into a system such as this, we believe is the holy grail for asset information